At the food bank, we're really just all chipping in where we can. Job duties are changing. We're filling in where we need to fill in. I have gone from packing food boxes in the warehouse to running around filling out paperwork at mobile markets to volunteer training at mobile markets, which are all things that I didn't have to do before COVID became a problem in our community. But now that it is, everyone is pitching in where they can, and things are changing positions so that we can try to support the community the best that we can.
It does feel different because people are panicking because they're like, what am I going to eat? Like, what am I going to feed my children? Because now that they don't have school, I mean, people live in paycheck to paycheck, so they have enough food for 2 weeks until they get paid again. But now it's like, I'm not working, I don't have any food. How am I going to feed my children?
Some of the people are still picking up and wanting to stay open as long as they can. And then some of the people with older people that man their agencies are saying, we really want to help, but we can't because everybody that is a volunteer here is in that risk. The need at the pantries that are open has ramped up. They're like, oh, I wish I would have ordered more because, and this was before we actually put everything in place to come up under them and help with that need. Now they know that we're behind them and we're up under them, and where they need extra help, we're right there.
It's more with the elderly being hit because now you have elderly they can't go anywhere. They have family that can help, but then they have family that works or they're dealing with their children. So how can the elderly come and get food? So now the question is, how can we deliver food to the elderly now?
What we have been seeing down here is we've been having a lot of families, a lot of kids, and what I've been hearing from them is they're concerned of not having food, not being able to go somewhere and get food, that their food at the house is very limited, and you have some of them that are walking distance just to get a meal. So with that been going on, we have still been trying to walk in our mission that no one is invisible, and to also walk in our mission that we extend in the power of God's love. Still, even though it's not in our dining room, but in our courtyard, showing love, giving them hope that, listen, we will be here and we will be open. We will be the last thing, if anything, to close.
Some of the stories that I heard at our mobile market food distribution the other day, first, people were very grateful. I received a lot of thank yous, received just a lot of kudos, a lot of smiles. People were overall very patient, and I was right there with a clipboard having to ask them several questions about their household. Some of the stories that I heard in the distribution line were stories about losing their job, about being laid off or furloughed, about not being able to find food in the grocery store. There was one cancer patient who told me the reason she had on a mask is because she was not supposed to be out of the house, but she couldn't find food anywhere.
It went from feeling kind of surreal, thinking, oh, it's not going to impact me, it's not going to impact Augusta or our community, and then that very quickly changed in a matter of days, if not hours, where you're realizing that this is a very real situation that's going to impact so many different areas that you never thought. When we had our mobile market here at Golden Harvest on Tuesday, to see the amount of people show up needing and looking for food was something I didn't expect. There were people lining up here before we even opened. When I got here at 8 o'clock, there were probably 100 cars lined up looking for food. And while in the moment I was ready to go, I was getting information from people, making sure that they got food. Once it was all over, it really set in how many people are in need. And, we weren't able to provide food to everyone.
What's keeping me motivated here working for Golden Harvest Food Bank, honestly, are my coworkers. My coworkers on all teams, no matter what their jobs are, working at the soup kitchen, the Beacon warehouse, on the operations team, on the fundraising team, they have kept me motivated because they are truly hustling and working hard and working overtime and going above and beyond and changing at the last minute to try to stay ahead of this thing.
I think just this amazing team and this community is keeping me going. Every day when I think I might start to feel a little bit discouraged, I get a phone call or a text or an email or a Facebook message that says, how can we help? What can we do? And that just means everything right now, because it can feel really lonely being on the front lines. It really can. And I was reminded that a couple of weeks before all of this started happening, we had a leadership retreat with the team, and I started that retreat off with the scripture of Esther 4:14, talking about perhaps you were called to this position for such a time as this. And that just keeps echoing through everything I'm doing now, that we're here for such a time as this team, these people, these volunteers, this food, to help this community.